So hummingbirds are skillful engineers when it comes to nest construction. Hummingbirds build their nests to house their eggs and hatchlings by weaving together twigs and plant fragments and using spider silk to bind the nest together. Finding the perfect location for the nest, as well as the actual construction for the nest, is done by the female hummingbird of each species. The purpose of the nest is to house the young, and for this, the nest needs an ideal location. An ideal location entails trees or shrubbery, as the hummingbirds prefer to be hidden from view. Trees preferred include willows, maples, and beech trees, trees that are super leafy. As noted in the book, Garden for Birds, Hummingbirds and Butterflies, written by L.D. Harris and J.M. Rickard in 2002. The overhead foliage provides shelter from the rain. As written on the website Everything Birds, edited in 2019, in the part where hummingbirds will nest, the point is made known that hummingbirds are not cavity nesters, so they will not nest inside of trees or inside of bird boxes. An ideal location will also have adequate and accessible building materials to build the nest with. Building materials include plants that have fuzzy foliage, such as milkweed or cattails. Sometimes hummingbirds will nest in thorny shrubbery because that gives them added protection. So now that we know where a hummingbird nests, let's move on to how the nest is constructed. Because the nest houses the eggs or hatchlings, the nest needs to be soft and pillowy. The nest will take form of a small woven cup woven by the female hummingbird's beak. She will weave twigs and bits of plant foliage together. And the nests are small, about the size of a golf ball, or 1.5 inches wide. And then she will take spider webs and wrap the spider silk around the nest. This binds the nest together and anchors it to the foundation. In the section about how hummingbirds build their nests on the website World Birds Joys of Nature, edited in 2020, it highlights this use of spider silk as a tool. Also, the stickiness of the web will allow for bits of moss or lichen to be stuck onto the outside of the nest, which creates an added disguise. The nest will also have a cushiony floor due to the fuzzy foliage, which also allows the walls of the nest to be stretchy and grow as the hummingbirds grow. Now that the where and how is understood, let's move on to a few varieties among different hummingbird species in North America. There are 17 hummingbird species in North America according to National Geographic's book called The Complete Birds of North America, written by John Elderfer and his co-author P.E. Lehman in 2014. So each species has unique building habits as well as shared similarities of the basics. Basics like the female of each species is the one to construct the nest, and the range of sizes is similar across species. The variety in nests occurs due to the variety in habitats. So as recorded in his observations written on the website Birds and Blooms in 2020, Hal Harrison found characteristics that are unique to each kind of hummingbird. So in his years of studying, he provided observations that calliope hummingbirds will build nests one on top of the others, sometimes up to 4 nests stacked, and often they are attached to pine cones or other kind of conifer cones. Also recorded is the observation of broad-tailed hummingbirds. They have been found to return to the same nesting site year after year. How the nest is built is determined by the locations and materials available to the hummingbird regardless of the species. So in conclusion, the methods in which a hummingbird builds a nest is a very tiny feat of engineering. Today we have covered where and how a hummingbird builds a nest, as well as the variety among a few different species. To house their young, hummingbirds weave a nest together with plant foliage and spider silk to hold the nest in place. The engineering the hummingbird uses to construct the nest is a wonder of nature.